This looks so randomly weird. It's a hat ain't on correctly. Uh, well, that bit. Yeah, maybe that'll work. Maybe just wear my headphones like this so it looks a little weird. Okay, wait. Anyways, hey guys. It's me, Caster, with not a reaction video, which there's gonna be some that's going to like come in a few days after, but yeah. Uh I just want to talk about something different. But this ain't gonna be the 2025 timeline. I did say I was gonna do that, but I guess I didn't want to, or probably they ain't gonna feel like it. But I don't know. I think I'm just chopping it up into pieces because this is one of the things that was gonna be in my 2025 situation with timeline discussion, and that's the Corey situation, Coryxkenshin situation, which I'm gonna talk about in a few minutes. But as I'm going to warn you guys, maybe I might sound a little stupid in here. Maybe y'all might see me as biased or parasocial or anything that I'm probably about to say here. I'm not really. I'm just speaking my opinion about this situation. I'm just tired of it and stuff like that. And you could just disagree with me. You can full-heartedly disagree with me. You don't have to agree with me in any way. It's just how I feel. But it's kind of also something you can kind of a little bit agree with too, if you agree with it as well. If you're on the same page as me and you kind of am starting to like not like the situation as much as how it's being handled and whatnot. But yeah, you just don't gotta agree. You just don't gotta agree. I would take my glasses off, but it would be weird because I think it's kind of bothering me because they're lump sided a little bit as I'm seeing. All I gotta say is I'm just tired of the Corey situation. But also, because I keep building y'all up. Let me just give me a minute before I speak. Now, if you don't know who Coryxkenshin is, which most of you who will come across this video if I post it and see it and stuff like that, some of you would already know who he is. He's obviously the GOAT, my favorite YouTuber. He is one of my favorite black YouTubers, to be honest. And yeah, but not only that, he's a gaming YouTuber. He's one of the biggest gaming YouTubers. He's really beloved by like all. He is just playing games that are almost the same as what Markiplier played, but he did his own few games here and there. He's done the games like Sneak Thief, if y'all know that, Five Nights at Freddy's, which is obviously known, stuff like that. But that's all I can say about him because I feel like most majority of people already know who he is. He's obviously a content creator, biggest content creator on the platform. 22, 20, I think 22 or 23 million subscribers he has. He's big. He's a big guy. He's a big YouTuber. He's a multi-millionaire. He's one of our favorite beloved YouTubers. But aside from that, he has undergone a situation that I have been frustrated about since 2025. And it's not like the booty one that he was looking at some booty. It's not that. That one was already stupid enough as it is. But it's the second one that nobody never decided what. that nobody even like asked for or even wanted it to come up. But it blew up because it scared nearly half of the fan base to death. And this is a situation with his ex-girlfriend, aka Panda Ninja. Situation that started off as something scary and made everybody like in a panic and a chokehold about Corey feel scared. They feel like they can't support their favorite YouTuber no more. It was a one clip of just him joking around with some woman that they didn't even know until we found out her name was Panda Ninja. And then, um, like, 'cause for what I remember, because I'm trying to piece it together. Sorry if I'm stopping. I'm trying to piece it together because all I really remember was seeing that clip and then, like, being really in panic and just, like, almost wanted to cry because I was like, is this really my goat? Like, saying something like that? Did you really do something bad? Because it really made it seem like that. Because everybody was running with it and stuff like that, which I will get to later in this video. Also, I did forget to mention this video might be a little bit short. Not too much short, but a little bit short because I need to go eat breakfast in a minute. My head is killing me. But it turned out to be like that, but then after a while it became something different. And you want to know what that is? Relationship problem. So it was debunked that he didn't SA basically, because everybody made it seem that way, the way he was joking around and stuff, and the way it made it seem like he didn't want to talk about it and stuff like that, kind of put people in a hearse or a panic. Why I say hearse, but it kind of people in like a panic and whatnot, and it was like, oh, Corey, how could he have done this? He needs to speak on this. Until later, it was found out once it started to get deep dived into more and spiraled, it turned into relationship problems. Because the way Panda Ninja made it seem, she made it seem like Corey actually did something. Because the way she was like, it was like something. You look back on this and whatever and realize they. Something I kind of forgot, but we'll probably see it later. But or well, later in this video. But that's probably all from what I can remember. But it was something like that, and it made people in a panic like that. Yeah, obviously, stuff like that until it just she tried to just say, "Oh well, that didn't happen. So if that didn't happen, then what are we doing here?" Well, not what are we doing here, but well, it's kind of is like that, and I will say why later on, a little bit in a minute after that. But it's more so like if that didn't happen, then that's good. Yeah, I would expect that. That didn't happen. If that wasn't true, that didn't happen. Until it just spiraled to be relationship problems. Would get more in depth into that, but all I gotta say is she basically went on a whole tangent about how this man manipulated her and crushed her heart. Which is a good, which is a good. Always be loyal, people. Always be loyal. Don't be cheaters. Don't be nothing. Don't be manipulators. Don't hurt your loved ones. Always love your partners when you're gonna date somebody, alright? Always do that. But the difference is with Panda Ninja, it was just not even it wasn't even anything to get into the meat and potatoes of. It was just misconstrued stuff with the first thing, but then it just really turned into like nonsense with this because it was really just a nothing burger. It was really just a nothing burger. Like, yeah, baby girl, I'm sorry. Like, believe the victims. Always believe the victims. I'm not saying don't believe her with stuff. because this whole video, I had to say this now because I'm not trying to say don't believe the victims, but I will get into it later why I'm saying that. But just like, just not saying you don't believe the victims. Believe them. Believe everything they say. Well, not everything, because sometimes it can, yeah. But just believe them. Just believe 'em. Just believe 'em, okay? Just believe them half the time if they are actually telling truthful stuff. But the thing is, with Panda Ninja, she said it was this and that. Oh my god, I get sidetracked when I say stuff like that. But oh my god. But backpedaling on, okay, backpedaling on. Let me rail it back to where I was originally about to say something at. Going back, okay. Obviously, she made it seem like this man really hurt her this bad, with just saying that he manipulated her and stuff like that. Like I said, love your loved ones. Always love them when you're dating somebody. But at the same time, when things don't work out between you two, don't make it a big deal on the internet, please. Because with that whole entire situation, I said, okay, the thing is, I'm trying my best to go on with this, but it's such a stupid situation that it just didn't make any sense for it to even pop up in the first place. Because later down the line, it literally just should have been something that could have kept private. Like, yeah, Corey, if he really did do something like that, then damn, Corey is not that good of a guy. Like, damn, that sucks. But at the same time, that happens a lot with relationships. Usually they don't work out good. Usually that's a lot with people my age with relationships. Stuff don't work out good with people in my age with relationships. It always goes bad. Nobody is always loyal to each other. It's always not worked out well. They always have problems with each other and yada 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 stuff like that. But that's at least handled privately to where y'all can choose not to really be on good terms with each other. Y'all would either want to talk to each other, that's fine. Y'all be friends, squash the beef. If y'all don't want to see even a foot of each other, like y'all don't even want to see near a speck or a sighting of each other, then that's fine. Y'all can go your separate ways, do your own thing, and get better. And like, y'all can do that. There's no sense of putting it out on the internet like everybody has to care, because like, okay, they do gotta care because it's a big guy. Not saying they don't gotta care, but it's just the things of not caring because of it's a private relationship. It's a relationship between you and that person, not between all of the internet to need to know to start bashing on a dude and be like, oh man, like maybe yeah, is to reveal like okay, maybe he wasn't that much of a good of a guy. He did something horrid in a relationship with you. Yeah, that makes sense. But enough rambling about that part. It was just it all you need to know. It was just a whole nothing burger of just like stuff. The thing is, she was trying to it just seemed like she was trying to levy allegations that he really did something really this bad. But it just was really just a nothing burger with not much proof, just screenshots, just a few scattered screenshots. Some of which few that wasn't even that bad, and it didn't even make Corey seem like a bad person. Maybe he said some like maybe like a little bit things that could made it seem like it was hurtful, but it really wasn't in a way. It really wasn't all that hurtful in a way. It just seemed like normal stuff. Well, that's basically what that whole entire situation was throughout the little bit of 2025. Because until then, she kind of just like disappeared. Like she said she was gonna drop more screenshots. She did, but then everybody realized like since That wasn't going nowhere. It just was. Mm, it's just like really now. This is what you were getting us like hyped for, or wanting us to know about Corey, or even more darker and sinister about Corey. Is this the most dark and sinister thing you want us to know about Corey? It's just all these random screenshots that don't seem that bad. Like, really now? Like, they could be bad, but at the same time, they didn't seem that bad. If you just go look it up, it's just like you see a video of her, it just wasn't that bad. It was just like she didn't really say nothing outlandish or weird or stuff that could have hurt her that bad or whatnot. It was just like he didn't he didn't say nothing that like it wasn't really that much as like, oh, his career has ended. What do we do now? It was just like, I don't know. Oh yeah, I think I'm also forgetting about the second person in the situation. There was also Mav Attack. Yeah, I'm sitting on my bed, so you might see my camera shake a lot, but there was also Mav Attack making the situation even more worse. He was just being a whole dickhead about it. You think Panda Ninja was bad, but he was worse. Because not only did he pop up on the scene to try to talk about the situation, he handled it poorly by just seeming like he was maniacally insane. And the thing is, people said the only reason why he came back was the bash on Corey and just also plot on his downfall even more. Which obviously now it seemed more like that when that situation popped up, because when he popped up on the scene, he did nothing but just make it worse on him and Panda, because not only was Panda reading off of a script and they were doing a Secret Life of Corey together, and he was trying to sound serious about it, but failed to do that because it was just nothing remotely that outlandish, like I said, with if you go to their video and you see it, not saying you should and you shouldn't give them any attention, shouldn't even make them feel any type of way where they need to react. You shouldn't even react to them at all, to be honest. They were just they're just sprouting stuff at this point. But all I'm saying is don't go and attack them. All I'm just saying is if you go look at that video just to be a little bit updated on the situation, if you become a viewer or a sub of me and you want to see what it is, or if you're already a sub of me, which is only 34 of you, obviously not big, but it's whatever. Yeah, y'all can still go see it. This is my video just to promote what it is to say about this. Not promote, but should use a different word, but you know what I mean. Yeah, there was that, and then there was also the fact that he was being a piece of shit during this situation too. Not only when fans started to get mad at him, call him out. Okay, like the one thing I can understand is fans can be parasocial. I can agree with that. Some fans were really parasocial, like they knew to do, like, oh, Corey would never do this and stuff like that. Well, if it was true, y'all would not be saying that. We can't always like think this man is like a god. Oh, he would never do something, or we should be surprised. Because I myself was neutral until I wanted to hear his perspective. Because when I just like saw that Mav Attack and Panda Ninja was dragging down the situation to a whole unbelievable level of nonsense and just stuff that was hurting my head that didn't make any sense, I was just like, all right, Corey, come with a video already. You might as well just say something. Because at this point, it isn't making any sense. I don't even know what they're trying to levy here. I don't even know what they're trying to do here. They're just seeming like they just want to do this just to tear you down. So it seems like you just need to say something. You just need to say something at this point. Just go ahead and say something. But yeah, because like at the same time, like I said, fans can be like parasocial and stuff. I don't want to say unparasocial, but they can be parasocial stuff like that. Not really gonna get into it because I'm not about to have a bunch of Corey fans who are parasocial to come at me, who is not even that big of a channel and is only just a starter beginner channel. It's like I don't want that. I really don't want that. My glasses are lopsided, dude. Like I said, I just don't want that. Actually, I'm just gonna take them off at this point. Oh, well then I really can't see, so never mind. I'm putting it back on. Back to Mav Attack, like I said. Okay. So I keep almost getting side tangent or side whatever, sidetracked. Just back to Mav Attack. Back to him. Back to him. Just keeping it around him. The most he really did was just act really childish during the situation. He was acting like he was the Joker of the situation. He was mad annoying. He was downplaying fans because they were not agreeing with him and he was just making up a bunch of nonsense and he wasn't going to take accountability of it. Like, you sure you just aren't saying this just to bring up stuff or whatever? Some you could put in that kind of perspective or whatever. He was just being like, he was calling his fans submissives. He was doing that. He was just being rude. That's what I mean. It just seemed like they were plotting on Corey's downfall because that's all nothing of what they did was just be rude pieces of shit about it. That was it. That's all he really did because there was a video of it. All he was just reading was comments of people being rude to him for the right reasons, for the right fucking reasons. Because he was just making it seem like a big deal, but he just really was not. Like, I don't know. I might as well just stop with this whole 2025 segment here because it really was a nothing burger. It really gives me a headache trying to think about it, trying to put on it or put some more on it of what it was that these people were levying during the times of 2025 and what the whole entire situation was about. But I don't think even that much people would need that much of an explanation. I would have ended it there, but I wanted to just kind of explain it a little bit more. I just decided to go on a little bit rant about how I felt about that entire situation with 2025. But we're gonna move on to why I'm tired of it because now we are now going to move on now to the bigger picture of why I'm making this video. It's because there's some new allegations, supposed new allegations, quote unquote, that we now have from Avatek. Because before they were saying during this situation, which I did leave out, and there was probably all some other stuff that I left out, but I didn't bother to want to mention it or remember it because, like I said, that whole situation made my head hurt. And I really think we should just wrap this, like, situation up, like, for good. Because it really, if it gets to the point where it starts hurting my head, it's gonna start hurting my head real bad. And I know I shouldn't bother with it and talk about it, but literally, it's just I can't stand it. Anyways, it was news of the allegations, and where I've heard it from, which you're probably about to see by a really great guy named by Slot Mule, if that's how you say his name. Slot Mule. He does make a lot of good commentary stuff, and he does address a lot of the situations pretty perfectly. Not perfectly, but he does it in an efficient way. He does it in an efficient way. I'm sorry if the camera's because I'm in bed. I'm in the bedroom. I'm not downstairs. I would have recorded downstairs, but I didn't feel like it. Anyways, I heard it from him that there's new allegations that, like I said before, I went on a little bit of a side tangent again. Before they mentioned Corey, not Corey, Mav I think it was only Mav. I don't know if it was Panda Ninja, but Mav Attack said there was more like women. No, it was also Panda Ninja. Okay, I had to think about it, sorry. But it was more it was more like supposed victims of Corey that were gonna come out from the situation. That's what Mav and Panda said. But I was watching Slot Mule's video on it, it seemed like okay, it was a little bit like um it was a little bit believable a little bit, but not really all that much because all I can say was all just messages where it sounded like half of them was just the same thing of what like, Panda said. I don't you could tell the look on my face. I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point because I really don't because this situation is just bothering me to the point where I don't even know how we supposed to explain this or how I'm supposed to explain this perfectly because none of this just makes sense to me. And it shouldn't have. It shouldn't have been like it shouldn't have transpired to this to begin with. But guess what? Guess who want to try to push it even more to expand it? You know who? Mav Attack and Panda Ninja. They wanted to expand upon this, so now everybody is going to be talking about it and probably talking about how it's just a bunch of bullshit and nonsense. And frankly, I think the same. But yeah, there was victims in the video that Mav Attack was addressing. Probably will show it, but I don't know if it'll make the video longer, but screw it. We're gonna make this video big. We're gonna have a lot of segments here to talk about a little bit. But this is kind of the shortest one. The reason why that one was longer is because that was a lot to talk about. This one's just short because this one just was like here for like the one day of last week it was here to just now it just was just all well that's kind of all we know there for that situation. Sorry, I had to take off my glasses because it's so lopsided, dude. But yeah, because it was just like that's just all we know from here, from that video from Mavatak, that new video from Mavatak about it. That's just all we know. So that's just disappointing. Because all I gotta say is, like I said, believe victims. Mind me, I'm not saying you don't have to believe victims. You can believe them, but not when there's a certain extent where there's no proof, no substantial proof, which is what everybody looks for nowadays. But nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody's ready for that conversation. Nobody's ready to say that we should start looking more into the papers of these situations. We should start looking for more receipts, more evidence, more things that is grounded to what they're trying to levy or do here. Because it just seems like all we got to do is just run with it. Just say how that's just how it is. That he's the way he is. It's proof. Label it as constant proof. Just like how it is with well, no. Ty the Creator situation was different, which I will get into a separate video about his situation. But I don't know if I really want to comment on that situation because it'd probably make me look bad. So I might think about that for a few days to release that video. Like I said, evidence is key. Stuff like that is key. Words and scramble screenshots is not going to make it. If we need proof, we need proof, actual substantial evidence. Because there was a little bit of evidence. There was just like one weird clip where he was just saying hi, and some other girl was, I mean, some girl, no, some girl was just saying hi. And he said hi too. Like Corey just introduced himself. I guess that woman was making a video as well along with him. And then they were just introducing themselves. That was it. And there was also just another one where it was just, I think, a woman just crying, and that was it. Saying how much that hurt, which was like, baby girl, I understand. But if these babes are really leviting allegations against this man, we would need more than that. We would need more than that, hun. Because this ain't it. This is really not it. And then ain't that, now that I'm gonna touch up on it, because I was going to say it at first because I was gonna say, because, like, the reason why the situation was just nothing and it was just nothing and it went is because, let me turn this off. It's because, the first victim was just not really real. They were real, but they were a person that just made stuff up, which was a good idea on their part because they did it just to see what Mav Attack would do. And holy crap! They made the point seem even more proven as what I just said early on in this video. This man is just preying on his downfall because literally all he did was just do nothing but run with this. Because it obviously seemed like he did nothing but run with this. So I full heartedly believe what she said on that. Because it's Mav Attack. It's Mav Attack. This is the same guy that wants us to take a situation seriously, but he's handling it so poorly where nobody's gonna believe him or even take it seriously anymore. Especially with Panda. Because Panda ain't making it serious as well. She's also handling it poorly. Or she also handled it poorly. Cause she's getting mad. She's doing both her and Mav Attack are doing the same thing. Getting mad at fans, throwing a hissy fit, doing this and that. And like, yeah. Uh, I don't know. I really don't know what more to say on the topic of Mav Attack and this whole situation with Corey and Panda Ninja and all this. Because really, I don't know, y'all gonna look at this video and realize, like, oh, this is horrible. This video is horrible. He was just rambling. He was doing nothing but rambling. But I was trying my best to remember stuff. It's just with this situation, I don't even know how I can explain this in a well constructive words without it just feeling like I'm about to hurt my brain saying it. Because for me as a fan of Corey, I love the man to death. I just like really adore the man. He really is honestly a legend, a good guy, frankly, a pretty cool dude who is honestly just a good and genuine nerdy, nerdy YouTuber who really seems like he loves doing what he does, but obviously has some bit of flaws here and there that people, which I will get in, in my opinion, I'm gonna get into more stuff of how I feel about fan bases and stuff and all this stuff, because that's also a situation that people have been dragging on for a long time about Corey not being fucking consistent. We're gonna talk about that in a later video, later future video, where I'm probably gonna be rambling on about how I feel about society and all these fan bases, all how people react and stuff, react to different things and stuff. But yeah, Like I said, yeah, I don't know. I did say I was gonna show the video, but I'm gonna leave a link down below so y'all can see Slot Mule's video. Y'all can do it, so I don't want to make the video longer by putting that in. There's also another guy who was also reacting to it, and and I agree with him because he had the same points as me, where it's just this is just nothing but a nothing burger, and this is the whole entire situation, stuff like that. I'm gonna link down below because y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna see both of those two people videos that I didn't mention the name of because I kind of forgot their name. The second person actually, not the first person. Obviously, I said Slot Meal, but yeah, I'm gonna link them both down below so y'all can watch the videos and get the gist of it for yourself. Because now I'm realizing, like, good few minutes into this video, my head is starting to hurt trying to explain this because really, this whole entire situation feels like I'm just explaining it with just trying to explain the best to my ability with my muscle memory. I don't even know what I said. My head is hurting. I don't know. This is how like brain numbing this situation is, and it should never happen. Or it should never been brought up. But hey, guess who brought it up? Panda Ninja did, and guess who made it worse? Mav Attack by trying to push it on even more, and maybe also even Panda Ninja, even though I don't know where she went at because she kind of disappeared. But yeah. All I gotta say mm, this, mm, the moral story of this video: always believe the victims, but don't believe too much of them. I know this video just seems like it was all over the place, and I was trying my best, and I was scrambling and whatever, rambling over words and stuff like that. But I think my head was telling me it's about that time to just try to possibly end the video as much as I can before trying to go on any further tangents that's gonna make my head hurt, or go into things that just don't make any sense that's gonna make my head hurt. But like I said in the beginning of the video, you could disagree with me and stuff like that. Y'all don't got to agree with me. Y'all, that's all I gotta say. Y'all just don't gotta agree with me. But anyways, like I said, I don't know. That's just my take. I'm just tired of the Corey situation because of the fact that it's just kind of just it's becoming this long, dragged out thing, and that's the few words I had to say, or the few things I had to say that um or that's a few things I had to speak up on in the situation on or speak up on the situation with to tell you just basically tell you that I'm tired. And those are the reasons why. Because like I said, the most majority of this entire video is just me trying to make sense and trying to piece together what I tried to say about the situation. Because this situation, like I said, this is the reason why I'm tired of it. It's just nothing but a nothing burger. It's just stuff two delusional individuals are trying to make you believe. While half some of it can be real, like I said, with the because with the video that Mav Attack posted, just take it with a grain of salt. You probably because some have few and a bunch of the mix of the things that he was saying in it. Some of those victims could be real, some of them can't, but we will never know. Because, like I said, you need evidence. If this is what he's trying to levy, then he needs evidence. Because I am tired of because I'm genuinely kind of getting tired of it just being like this. It just being just whole entirely like look at the picture, pinch of my finger, nothing. Just me holding like a little bit of an inch of nothing. Like I'm just tired of it just making it seem like that because at this point it just feels like we're being set to believe that this man is a truly dark person and that he's more than what Panda was trying to levy out by having more random people to come out on it. Which I really feel like the Mav Attack should not speak in behalf of him. I'm gonna be honest, he should not be speaking the behalf because this should have been like, oh, if they want to come out, then they could have came out. But if nobody came out, then what are we doing here? So like I said, believe the victims, believe the victims. Always believe, just gotta keep saying it. Just remember, believe the victims. Believe them firsthand. You gotta believe them. Whatever situation is, you gotta put it on the front for that person they could be talking about could be just a genuine terrible person, and they need to be brought to justice. It's like you gotta always believe them on that, because if you don't, you're gonna seem like a really terrible person by just saying, "Oh, well, he's not a bad person. Oh, we know him better than that." It's like no, just always believe the victim. Just always believe the victim. Don't victim blame. Don't do nothing. Just always believe the victim. Just try your best to always believe him. Is what I'm trying to say. Because sometimes you can never know if the situation is really true. Because then if you don't believe it, then it comes off true. Then it's like now you look stupid for putting the victim down. Which is the thing that even though I'm saying this here, because like I said, I know it seems like I'm saying that you should never believe the victim. Y'all shouldn't take it or making it seem like I'm not taking it seriously or whatever or whatnot. Like I believe I would believe victims if it really happened to them or if it's really like really that bad. Like I will believe them. But if it's stuff like this where we're doing nothing but sitting here about ranting about a guy who said he's a normal dude and stuff like that, and has proven his point even more because it makes it seem like all the screenshots and stuff like that aren't as bad as the two people are making it as, and then it's like I said, like I said, what am I doing here? Because I want to believe the victim. Like that's the point. That's the problem with these allegations. I don't like it when they're just like this, which is why I'm tired of the Corey situation. Like I want to sit here and believe the victims. I don't want to feel like I don't have to believe them and I don't can't take them seriously for how the way they're acting and how the way they're handling situations. Because when you handle situations poorly, you don't act the way you act. It says more about you than the person you're trying to expose. Because you're acting like, since no fan is like, I get the frustration. Nobody's believing you. They're being parasocial. I can understand that. But when you start to make it getting too much into your head, when you start insulting people, you start doing this, and it's like, I don't understand you at this point. Like, I don't understand you. This is why I'm tired of the Corey situation. Like I said, tired because it's becoming a nothing burger at this point. If it's really something that's bad with Corey, we need evidence for him to be brought to justice. If it's really something that bad, because I want to believe victims. If I want allegations to be believable, I want them to be proven point blank on, like, oh, he's terrible. He's really bad. There's a lot of outlandish shit with these evidence. He's said multiple bad things. But If it's nothing where it's not nothing that bad, it's normal outcomes, it's immature outcomes, it's like, yeah, that can be looked at as just normal because it always happens today in today's society with people consistently not being loyal to each other, which shouldn't be normalized because it's really like terrible. It's like I said, feel bad for you, your heart is broken, sucks. It's like I don't know what it's just like I don't know what most to say for you. It's like it's just like it's like I hear some type of related relationships like this all the time, and it bothers me, like all the time. It just really bothers me. Yeah, it's just we just gotta stop believing fake allegations and running with it. We need to believe victims more, and I want to believe victims more. I don't want situations to keep being taken on seriously. Because when we do stuff like this and we don't handle them greatly, then it's like I said, what do we talk about? What do we talk about? And then at that is also going to make it harder, which people don't understand. It's going to make it harder for actual victims to come out. For actual victims who are going through this type of same thing to come out and say, oh, I can't stand this person. I need to come out about him. I need to speak my truth. I need to speak about how bad this person is. I need to let them know. And it makes it hard for us to believe that when people like Panda Ninja and Mav Attack are handling it poorly, fucking up and saying that, and sorry if I'm cursing a lot, but it's just I'm mad about it. It's like the situation's really bothering me, but just screwing up and saying like, ooh, he hurt me like this. So I'm going to bring up a bunch of multitude of things that I'm not gonna levy or not really going to push like any type of evidence or allegations or any reasonable outlandish or groundbreaking screenshots to prove to prove the allegations that I'm or to prove the point that I'm trying to make here with my whole entire allegations with it correct. Instead, I'm just gonna bring up nonsense. It's like it's like I just don't want something like that. I just don't want something like that from victims. I want clear proof. I want actual proof. I want people to start just coming out more with reasonable and handled better allegations against somebody to where it could be proven, it could be put up against for debate to see if this person's really justified to be brought to justice. Oh yeah, I don't got my headphones on this time. But also to add to that, just also know the size of both stories before it becomes justified enough to like cancel out this person for their actions or what they did. Yeah, that's really all I gotta add there. Because I don't mean just like completely, just blatantly, just like believe them. I just mean like, hey, just like if it's up for the debate or if it's actually justified, then yeah, I guess then you can believe that the victim. But sometimes, see, you believe the victim or you just be neutral about it and just like hear from both sides, basically, just both stories. Anyways, yeah. Because when we do stuff like this, make false allegations, or make it seem like false allegations, make people run with it, backpedal, and then keep on continuously trying to push it by trying to make more of a more bigger narrative again and trying to make it seem like something, then backpedal once again by backpedaling again with that person's statement and stuff like that. It starts to just not make sense, which I hope you guys are just trying to see clearly here why, like, I am, like, trying my best to remember and try to make sense of the situation because it just doesn't make sense, and that's really the problem with these situations. And I don't like that. Like I said, I don't like these types of situations that have that type of problem because I will want to speak out on it as best as I can, but I can't if it's something that feels like it shouldn't be even that worth to make a 50-minute video on. Yeah, it's like 50 minutes now, I guess, because I went on a long tangent about this, but yeah, it's just, man, it's just like with stuff like this, it's just I don't understand it at all. It's like I said, I want to believe the victim. I want to believe them. But we can't believe them if we're doing stuff like this. But anyways, this video was pretty long. Sorry, but for most of majority of you who possibly has an attention span or can even make sense of what I'm trying to say here, y'all could probably piece it together what I'm trying to say here. Y'all probably cannot. Y'all could probably disagree with me on my take on how I feel about this. Y'all could probably not. Like I said, at the end of the day, like I said, at the end of the day, I'm not trying to make this video about not believing victims or making it seem like I don't believe Panda Ninja or anything she says. I'm just trying to make it clear that I'm just tired of it, and I think you should be tired of it too. Because with false allegations like this, it just doesn't make any sense to believe in. Or allegations like this doesn't make sense to believe in. Like I said before I end this video, at the end of the day, just believe the victims. But don't always believe them. Okay? Just don't always believe them. Cause I get it. You want to believe them. You want to feel bad, but sometimes it's not always the case. Sometimes you just gotta not believe them at all. Just don't believe them unless they actually have. Or well, believe them, but at the same time, well, believe them, but just don't believe things that they would say that would seem like BS, if that makes sense. So whatever I'm trying to make sense here. Just at the end of the day, don't always believe the victim if they aren't right about what they're trying to say. If they are right about what they're trying to say, then yeah, there's a green light to say, yeah, we gotta believe them. We gotta say, hey, this person's bad. We feel bad. Either way, yeah, just hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm sorry if I did not make any sense. I'm sorry if it just seemed like I was just rambling and making no sense of anything, and all these sections here was just weird and didn't fully explain things better. So like I said, this situation just didn't make any sense. It should have never came about to be a thing anyway. The big of a deal for people to be making 50-minute videos and stuff like that on it. It should have just been something for Panda Ninja and whatnot to be kept private. But you know, like one of my favorite TikTokers said, different strokes for different folks. We all have free will, and we can do with it as we please. Such as making headache allegations that make you want to, you know, commit game end and not want to live on a planet like this anymore, where it's just consistent nonsense. Yeah. And to where we could just make up allegations about people that make it seem more than that and sinister. Or we could just be a map attack and make things worse and make it not seem serious at all. Playing a whole skit about how we're going insane about stuff and we're just adding more random, unnecessary dramatic effect to it. But either way, that's all I probably have to say for today. Like I said, sorry if the video was just weirdly not put together well. I tried to say this the best as I can. I try to express myself the best as I can with this. This is mostly the one thing I forgot to mention with the channel. That's the thing with commentary stuff that I want to try to do. I just tried to have much somewhat reasonable opinions on things as best as I can. Nobody has to agree with anything. And yeah. Maybe in the separate video I might just make a short separate video saying like how much I don't like false allegations that much. So like that. But I don't even know. But anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna eat breakfast. If it's like 9 a.m. as I recorded. Well, it's 9 a.m. as I'm ending this. I started like at 8 recording this. But anyways, leave a like, share, comment, subscribe. And tell me how you guys feel about the situation. And tell me how y'all feel about how I went with this video. Because I tried to explain it the best way I can. I tried to be as good as I can, but I just felt like I did really terrible on it. But I tried my best because I don't know. Like I said, frustrated and tired with the Corey situation. I just want there to be actual things. Like I said, I just want to feel like I can believe the victim. Like I just want to believe the victim. That's all. It's not that hard to ask. Yeah. It has been Caster with like another commentary video. So leave a like, share, comment, subscribe. Like I said, hit the notification bell. Like I said, comment down below. Tell me how you feel. Other than that, I'm out of here. See y'all.